Today we're going to start talking about composite figures. So what's nice about composite figures is it's just finding area again, but this time there's just a few more steps on top of what we've been doing already with finding area. So this says in your notes, draw line segments on the composite figure below to show the three geometric figures that make up its area. Underneath it says, in words, describe how to find the approximate area of this composite figure. So what makes it a composite figure is that there are different segments that are different shapes, and they're all put together to make one new shape. So let's go ahead and draw those lines like it said. Well, if I look over here near right about here, I see that that looks like it could be a triangle if I cut a line down here and make it like this. Okay, so that right there, now I've made a triangle. Right here, there's a triangle. Well, there are two more shapes in here still as well, so it's a little bit more confusing on this one, but if we look all the way to the right, there's what's called a semicircle or a half circle. So if we take our line and draw it right down where the half circle is, it would be right there. So now we have two more shapes. We have a rectangle and a semicircle over here. So now we have the three shapes that we can go ahead and start breaking down their area and then just add them up. So where it says in words, describe how to find the approximate area of this composite figure, well, what you would do is find the area of each shape. So find, let me go ahead and change that. That's a little bit hard to read. Sorry about that. Let's go to a different color and try this one. Okay, so find the area. So find the area of each shape then add those areas together. So what you do is you break it up into its shapes and then find the area of each shape and then add those areas together. And then you'd have the total area of the composite figure. So let's go ahead and look at the next part. I cropped the picture out so that I could put it at the top here, and I just made it larger on the screen for you. So make sure you kind of find where this area is. In your notes, it's actually right next to it on the page. So right next to it is where we're going to start going ahead and working them out. Now here I'm going to split the picture up for us again. So we had our triangle there, and a semicircle, and a rectangle over here where I split it in pink. Alright, so let's break them down. The first part is a triangle. So, part triangle. That's what we're going to be working on first. After that, sorry about that, that's triangle. After that, we're going to work on rectangle. And the third and final part is a semicircle. So it's half of a circle. Alright, going back to the triangle. So if you look on your reference chart and you look under area, because we are finding composite figure area still, area and triangle, then you would see that A equals 1/2 BH, which we also talk about writing that as A equals BH divided by 2. So we have two different versions of writing it, and they both work out the same because half of something is also dividing it by 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and do our T-chart. And again, you need more room on the left, so if you need some space, you kind of do your T-chart like this. I'm going to use the second formula here. A equals base times height divided by 2. And then on the other side, we're going to break it down. Well, area is what's unknown, so we still have our variable. Our base and our height is what we need. So if we go up to our triangle in the picture, we just count our units. So in the triangle on the bottom on the base, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And yes, you do count the partial one too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then going up, there's 1, 2, 3. So the height here is 3. Alright, so my base is 4 and my height is 3. So now let's plug it in. A remains the same, so right underneath it put an A, equals B is 4 parentheses times our h, which is 3, and then divided by 2. And then I'm going to go and double check that I use everything, because once we use it, we lose it. Well, I used my a, I put it down underneath, so a's gone, I used it. B I plugged in as 4, so b is gone. H I plugged in as 3, so I used it, so I lose it. And then I did bring down the division by 2. Alright, so now I know I can go to my next step. Well, a equals 4 times 3. Okay, so a equals 4 times 3 is 12, and then divided by the 2 still. So I'm going to cross those out because I used them. The 4 times 3 turned into the 12, and the 2 I brought down. And then 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I'm going to circle that because it's still what I need. And on your paper, if you have some room, go ahead and put a 6 in there and circle it. Alright, let's find our rectangle. So the next shape is the rectangle, like we just mentioned, and let's find the area formula for that. The formula of area of a rectangle is A equals base times height, BH. So go ahead and draw your T-chart again, leaving more room on the left, and let's write it out. A equals base times height, A equals A, base we're not sure yet, and the height we also need to find. So let's go back up to our figure. Up top, let's go ahead and find our base and our height. On this one, our base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that would be 5. Now our height is, don't forget to still count the one you've counted for your base, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our height is 6. Alright, so now that we know that, we can go ahead and plug those in. So base is 5, height is 6. A stays the same, equals base, which is 5, times your height. And once we use it, we lose it. So yes, I plugged all of those in. That helps me stay on track. And now A equals, well, 5 times 6 is 30. Alright, so I have shape number 2's area now, which is 30, which I'm going to put that up here too. 30. Okay, so now let's talk about this half circle or semicircle. Well, we still want the area of a circle, but this time it's half of one. So at the end, we will divide it by 2 because it's half of a circle. But the formula we use is still the same, only we have to know that we're going to divide it by 2. So let's go ahead and write down our formula. We have A for area of a circle is pi r squared. Now write that a little bit high. If you didn't, go ahead and pause the video and erase it and write it a little bit higher. Because like I mentioned, it's half of a circle, so we're going to divide it by 2. Alright, let's break it down. So in our T-chart, we have A equals pi r squared, which is just the formula of a circle, and then cutting it in half, so dividing by 2. So A equals A. Here we're going to use 3 for pi. And r equals, well, let's go ahead and check our radius. Up at the top, we can count our segments again for the middle of the circle where it gets cut in half. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way across, which is called my diameter. But since we need the radius only for this formula, we have to take half of that amount right here, like I'm kind of highlighting above. And that's just 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I know that my radius then is 3. So let's go ahead and plug them in. Alright, A is still A, equals pi turns into 3, and radius squared means times itself, so that little squared means there's going to be 2 of the radius, okay? So radius is also 3, so plug that in. And then don't forget we have to bring down our 2, which is why once we use it, we lose it. Kind of helps because let's double check where we are so far. Okay, A I brought down, so we use that, so cross it out lightly. Pi, I did replace it with 3, so I'm going to cross that out. Radius squared I covered with my 3 times 3, so cross that out. And then that reminds us that, oh hey, they're still divided by 2 right there. Divide by 2. Alright, let's go ahead and solve this one here. A equals, well, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, then times 3 divided by 2. I'm going to work down a little bit. And A equals, well, 9 times 3 is 27 divided by 2. And so go ahead and pause and do this division yourself and try to see what you get for your final area of the half circle. So go ahead and pause the video and come back and check your answer. Alright, hopefully you tried it out yourself and then you realized that the answer was 13.5, 13 and a half. So when we want the total area, all we have to do now is add those up. So we found the area of each one and now we need to add them up. So we have 6 for our triangle plus 30 for the rectangle plus 13.5 and equals. So do me a favor and go ahead and add these up as well on your own. Pause the video, come back and check your answer. Alright, so when you added them up, you should have gotten the 36 plus 13 and a half, and you would have gotten 49.5 or 49 and a half. Alright, let's go on to the next part real fast. So in this part it says, in words describe how to find the approximate area of the shaded region. In the shaded region in this composite figure. So go ahead and take a moment and think about it, and then pause the video and come back and check and see if you wrote kind of the same thing. Think about what you're having to find here and how would we find that. Alright, so how we would find it is actually finding the area of both shapes and then subtracting. So if you wrote something like that, then you're good to go. So let's go ahead and practice it. So part 1, well, let's count the square. That's the outside part, the entire thing. This is the square. Let's go ahead and count that first. Okay, so we're going to count our square, and what I'd like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and then come back, and what I want you to do while you pause it is go ahead and find the 2 formulas that we need for these shapes and get your T-chart set up for each one. So we have a square on the outside, and then we have a circle on the inside, and you're finding area of a square and area of a circle. A square is also called a parallelogram. So go ahead and fill out your area formula part and your T-charts, and then come back and see if you set it up correctly. Okay, so this is how you should have it all set up, so go ahead and check and make sure that yours matches. And if it does, then go ahead and start solving. So plug in your numbers and solve the 2 areas, and then go ahead and try to subtract them already as well. If you notice in the middle under where it says difference of the areas, I put a subtraction sign. So go ahead and try to solve the rest of this one on your own. So press pause, plug in what we have set up here, multiply across, and then subtract the 2 areas from one another and see what you get. And then unpause and check your answer. So go ahead and pause the video. Alright, hopefully you got 16 as your total answer. It was 64 for the square, 48 for the circle, and when you subtract those 2, you have 16 left over. And the reason that we're subtracting is because we were looking for the shaded area, so we were only looking for the part on that figure that's actually shaded, which means you have to basically be finding what's left over once you take all of that circle space away. And when we find what's left over, that's when we subtract. So I'm just kind of highlighting the subtraction again to show why we do that. Alright guys, go ahead and remember that you can use this video anytime you start to get stuck on finding the area of composite figures. And it's kind of just the same thing. You might have different shapes, but it's the same process. Okay, break it down into the different shapes, find the areas of those different shapes, and either add them up if it wants the total figure, or subtract them if it wants the shaded area only. Alright, good job and good luck.